Associates. Meteorologist John Lynn. Weather coverage you can count on. The Live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
We're back to sunshine, but with it we have windy conditions and cooler temperatures. What you can expect coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, the trial for disbarred lawyer Alec Murdaugh is underway as jury selection begins in Walterboro. We'll have more on day one coming up. Plus, following a violent protest over the weekend in Atlanta, lawmakers are saying public safety and crime will be a top priority. Also, Aiken Mayor Rick Osmond giving his annual State of the City speech tonight. What he has planned for the All-America City. As your news at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is Wjbf News Channel 6 at 4.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Brad's off today. Coverage you can count on begins in the Low Country, where the Alec Murdaugh murder trial is underway. Over the next few weeks, a jury will decide whether or not the former South Carolina attorney killed his wife and son back in June of 2021. Jason Raven spoke with people in the small town of Walterboro ahead of the trial.
Jury selection is underway at the Colleton County Courthouse here behind me, but outside, locals and city officials say they have taken steps to prepare for everything that comes with this trial. Walterboro is known as the front porch of the Low Country, nestled right off of I-95. You may have passed through this small town of a little less than 6,000 people on your way to the South Carolina coast. Now around town, you'll find some antiques, historic homes, and Spanish moss. We spoke with some locals throughout the day. One restaurant owner, Giuseppe Vitale, says while the situation that brought everyone here was pretty bad, he hopes people enjoy their time in Walterboro.
It's a small town, but it's very friendly town. I'm very impressed because I'm rude. I'm typical Italian rudeness, but Walterboro is very, very good people.
And jury selection for this double murder trial is expected to continue for the next few days. In Walterboro, I'm Jason Raven.
In Aiken County, a mother is out of jail following the death of her child. The coroner's office located the 1-year-old baby Friday night at a home on L&L Lane, where the child's mother was arrested on fentanyl possession charges. Alexandra Elizabeth Howell was released from custody Saturday. An autopsy will be done tomorrow in Newberry to determine the cause of death, but we know EMS found the baby in cardiac arrest. In Atlanta, 6 people are facing charges after a protest. It happened Saturday night. Police say the incident stems from an activist's death on Wednesday. Authorities are trying to shut down a protest at the site of a planned public safety training center when the activist reportedly shot and wounded a trooper, and the trooper returned fire in self-defense. Over the weekend, protesting activists allegedly threw rocks and lit fireworks in front of a skyscraper that houses the Atlanta Police Foundation. They lit a cruiser on fire and vandalized other buildings. Following that violent weekend in Atlanta, public safety is back at the forefront under the Gold Dome. Lawmakers say public safety is a top priority, with issues on gun control, mental health, human trafficking, and gang activity at the forefront. They say tackling crime will mean reaching out to local communities and mentoring groups to educate and empower young people so they don't get recruited by gangs. Another part of the effort is training police officers and first responders in handling mental health issues to de-escalate situations.
We all want to live in a safe community. Every single person in this General Assembly, whether they are a Democrat or a Republican, wants to live in a safe community. Is how are we going to support our law enforcement? Because again, just like education, law enforcement is having phenomenally a difficult time with attracting and retaining qualified officers.
State lawmakers have 40 days to balance the state budget, which wraps up on March 29th. And so far, more than 900 bills and 120 resolutions have been drafted. It is time now for a look at the forecast. Meteorologist Sherry Shealy joins us with more.
Yes, ma'am. So it's amazing the difference a day makes, right? Yesterday, all the rain and gloom and clouds, and today at 15 miles per hour here in Augusta, 12 in Waynesboro, and 13 up in Lincolnton. So it's definitely breezy out there, but we'll take it if we can get the sunshine, right? Temperature-wise, we're at 54 here in Augusta, 55 in Waynesboro, 52 in Thompson, and 54 up in McCormick. So right where we should be for January, and that sunshine makes it feel very nice. Satellite radar, all is clear. Nothing to see here, just a few fair weather clouds, but overall, lots of blue skies. So for your afternoon, we're looking at a nice afternoon with temperatures in the 50s and lots of sunshine. And then the winds will start to diminish once the sun goes down, which will allow those temperatures to really start dropping. So we'll be in the 40s by 7 o'clock tonight. Overnight tonight, though, dropping below freezing at only 29 degrees with those clear skies and diminishing winds. So definitely bundle up if you're heading out tonight. So you can expect sunshine to stick around today and tomorrow, and the winds to start die down tonight. But then it will be below freezing tonight, so bundle up and don't put those umbrellas away too far, as we have rain returning in the forecast later in the week. I'll have all the details for you coming up. Back to you, Jenny.
All right, thank you, Sherry. Mayor Garnett Johnson is back in Augusta after a meeting of the U.S. Conference of Mayors in Washington, D.C. last week. The mayor says his visit was filled with meetings and a wealth of examples in what he plans for Augusta. During the conference, Mayor Johnson found a session about public-private partnerships to be very informative on how to create opportunity for the Garden City. Johnson says he considers his time in Washington as a chance to have a seat at the table with fellow decision makers.
It was a very, what I consider, productive week, and that I got the opportunity to not only engage with my colleagues from across the country, regardless of their city size, but I'm realizing that we have a lot of problems that are similar, but we learned a lot about the resources that, of course, our federal government offers that benefits our cities and cities like Augusta.
Mayor Johnson says he recognizes where there are needs in Augusta, and he looks forward to using the ideas he learned in Washington to meet them. Aiken Mayor Rick Osmond is giving his annual State of the City speech tonight. News Channel 6 Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stalk is live in Aiken. And Sean, the mayor plans to talk about his vision for Aiken in 2023.
Hey, Jenny, that's right. Mayor Osmond says it's important to talk to the people of Aiken about plans for the city moving forward and to get their feedback. Mayor Osmond has been connecting with the residents of Aiken this way since 2016. He's expected to talk about the future of the Project Pascalis properties, and he will also give an update to residents on what the city government has been doing and plans to do this year.
We have a lot of infrastructure projects happening, a lot of give an update and plans on what will be next in that. We have a lot of exciting roadways happening with our Powderhouse Connector. We can give an update on that. We'll certainly touch on our downtown, which has certainly been a lot of conversation in 2022.
A lot of exciting ideas as well. Back here live now, that State of the City address will be held at 6 o'clock here at the Amentum Center, and you're invited. For now, live in Aiken, I'm Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stalk, Wjbf News Channel 6.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. South Carolina's Department of Health and Environmental Control says it's seeing a concerning trend in severe cases of coronavirus. DHEC reported 68 COVID-related deaths in South Carolina from January 1st to the 7th. That's an 11% increase from the week before. They say more than 85% of those deaths were people 65 and older. DHEC officials say it's important to be aware of the community transmission levels in your area.
We know COVID-19 fatigue is real, but we are back at a point where dozens of South Carolinians are losing their lives to this virus every week. And it's important for all of us to act before it gets worse. And masking up is one of the most effective and easy ways to reduce your risk of illness.
Right now, 23 counties have high levels of cases, and 19 counties are in the medium range. In our area, those include Aiken, Edgefield, McCormick, and Saluda counties. An exciting day for little Justin Gilstrap ahead of his neck surgery. On Sunday, Justin got a special visit from the University of Georgia. Coach Gant Bryant and News Channel 6's Tiffany Hobbs, who's a UGA alum, stopped by bringing gifts from the football team. And Justin's favorite Georgia player, quarterback Stetson Bennett, called to check in too.
The football. Yeah.
Show them what else you have.
and I have the hat and sign, and I have some bracelets. And I got y'all's beanie. The beanie y'all wear.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Justin's seventh surgery is scheduled for today. We'll continue to update you on his progress. Once again, the community came together to help people in need of blood donations. News Channel 6's Renata Dubose explains.
There is an urgent need for one type of blood, so Augusta University opened its doors, and a few generous folks rolled up their sleeves. Shepherd Community Blood Center took over a lobby at AU's Health Sciences campus to help others. Its role is to supply blood to patients at local hospitals, and there's an urgent need for O types. While it may seem intimidating or even scary to give blood, the process is simple, starting with a good breakfast and ending with a t-shirt. And the blood center needs just a pint to save a life. That could be the difference between someone getting a surgery for that day or maybe a mother giving birth and she needs a transfusion to live. That could be a life or death thing for someone. In case you missed this blood drive, there will be another one on Wednesday in the cafeteria of Piedmont Hospital of Augusta from 9 to 5. In Augusta, Renata Dubose, Wjbf News Channel 6.
Coming up, 5 officers involved in a deadly traffic stop that killed Tyree Nichols, and they've now been fired. This is the Nichols family meets with Memphis police and officials about what happened. We'll have more on that after the break. Now to the latest in the death of a man in Memphis after a confrontation with police during a traffic stop. All 5 officers involved have now been fired after an investigation by the Memphis Police Department. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
The family of Tyree Nichols, the 29-year-old man who they say was beaten by officers to the point where he was nearly unrecognizable, getting a first look at the police video of the incident.
It is heinous. Attorney Ramanucci, what was your word? Violent? Violent. It is very troublesome on every level.
Police say Nichols ran from police after being pulled over on January 7th for reckless driving. Then they say there was a second confrontation before he was apprehended. Nichols was hospitalized in critical condition and died 3 days later. According to Memphis police, Nichols complained of having shortness of breath, at which time an ambulance was called to the scene. On Friday, those 5 Memphis cops, all African-American, identified and fired for, according to the internal investigation, violating multiple department policies, including using excessive force and failure in their duty to render aid. The incident, though, fueling a wave of protest across the city, with Nichols' family, activists, and demonstrators demanding that those officers be charged with murder.
We have to have accountability no matter who tramples on the constitutional rights of our citizens.
Local prosecutors are looking into the case, and so is the U.S. Department of Justice. The Memphis police chief previously said that the video would be released publicly after the internal police investigation and once the Nichols family has seen it. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York. Coming up, we'll take a look at your local forecast. Meteorologist Sherry Shealy joins us next.
When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
Well, today you could certainly put the umbrella away and need those sunglasses, as we've got bright sunshine beaming down from the sky with lots of clear blue skies, as a matter of fact. Thanks to our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, we've got this gorgeous shot over at Doctor's Hospital showing us that beautiful sunshine beaming down. Temperature-wise, we're at 54 right here in Augusta, but the winds are the main story today, still at 15 miles per hour coming from the west-northwest here in Augusta, but humidity feeling good at 43%. So sustained winds right now are dying down a little bit, so the brunt of it came in earlier today, but we're still at 15 in Augusta, 12 in Waynesboro and Sandersville, 15 in Millen, and 16 in Aiken. And then when you look at the wind gusts, we still have wind gusts in Louisville up to 25 miles per hour. So even though that lake wind advisory has expired as of 3 o'clock, definitely some breezy conditions out there to contend with. But thank goodness we have that sunshine to make it feel nice and warm for us. Looking across the southeast, we've got 55 in Montgomery, 59 in Tallahassee, 6 in Charleston, and nice and warm at 79 in Miami. So everyone in the southeast looking pretty good for a January day for our satellite and radar. You can see that cold front that came through yesterday, taking all the clouds and precip that we experienced yesterday off to the coast with it, and we've got high pressure building in, giving us those nice clear skies. So it's been a pretty rainy month for us for January. So after yesterday getting over 2 inches of rain here in Augusta, that puts us a little over 4¼ inches. So we are above average for January. So looking good, especially for our farmers. But that puts us with a flood warning now in effect for Screven County. We had Edgefield and McCormick earlier today, so that has been dropped. But Screven, you're still under that warning. So we're going to keep it nice and dry for you today and tomorrow. So 0% chance on Monday and Tuesday. But then you're going to need to bring the umbrellas back out for your Wednesday as we're tracking some showers and storms moving in for our midweek. But looking at our future cast for the next several hours, we've got that high pressure continuing to move in all day today and for your Tuesday, so keeping the sunshine around for your Tuesday. But then as we march towards Wednesday, we have our next weather maker that's heading into the picture, and so it's looking like some showers and storms could be moving in on Wednesday, but it looks to be a fairly fast moving system, so it looks like Wednesday's the only day we'll have to deal with, and then we'll be back to sunshine for the rest of the week. So your after work planning for today at 5 o'clock, we still got plenty of sunshine at 53 degrees, but then as the sun goes down and those winds diminish, the temperatures will start to drop as we're in the 40s by 7 o'clock. And then overnight tonight, we're looking at sub-freezing temperatures getting down all the way to 26 degrees here in Augusta. And that trend will continue as we've got below average high temperatures. We'll get pretty warm at 67 for Wednesday, but then drop back down in the 50s for the rest of the week for your daily highs. And same story with your lows. We've got below freezing temperatures on Tuesday and again on Friday and Saturday. So sunshine for your Monday and Tuesday, but then the rain returns on Wednesday, but then we're back to sunshine for the rest of the week. And temperatures there in the 50s, right on target for January.
All right, thank you so much, Sherry. Coming up, we'll see what's going down in Tinseltown. We'll have the latest happening in Hollywood. After this break, don't go away. Turning now to the latest happening in Hollywood, here's Christopher Watson.
The Wjbf connects all things.
It's 6 weeks in a row and the #1 box office spot for Avatar: The Way of Water. $20 million brings the total domestic gross to $598 million. But the big news is global earnings. It's now the 6th movie to earn $2 billion or more with a $2.024 billion take, putting the #5 all-time global earner, Avengers: Infinity War, just $28 million ahead of it, squarely in its sights. Alanis Morissette there, one of the many celebrities and fans remembering Lisa Marie Presley at her memorial service in Memphis Sunday. The only child of Elvis Presley died January 12th and was interred at Graceland last week next to her late father. Jeremy Renner says he broke more than 30 bones in that snowcat accident 2 weeks ago. The Avengers star shared the news in an Instagram update showing him undergoing rehab at home. And Law & Order SVU star Mariska Hargitay's 59 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
There is more coverage ahead. Coming up on News Channel 6 at 4:30. Here's Dee Griffin to tell us about it.
Thanks so much, Jenny. Coming up on News Channel 6 at 4:30, investigators are working to determine a motive for a mass shooting that left 10, well now 11, one more person has died, dead at a ballroom dance club during Lunar New Year celebrations in California. Details ahead. And we'll have the latest on classified documents found in President Biden's private Delaware home. All this and more. Your News at 4:30 is next.
With storms